You trust yourself to make the decision, to take the next step, to actually be the leader? Or are you waiting on a mentor, on an expert to give you guidance, to tell you what to do next? And truly, mentorship is one of the most powerful things we can do, that we can have in our life. Yet sometimes we get so fixated on doing it perfectly that we can limit our own leadership, our own authority, our own certainty of taking the next step on our own. And this was my story. I had amazing mentors, I still do, but I was deferring to them. I would wait for my sessions on Fridays to ask them what to do, to break through, to do the next step. And if I had a great idea midweek, I would wait for them to give me the green light. And the truth is, I was really stifling not only the speed and momentum I could have, but also some of the creativity. Because you can have amazing mentors, but they're not you. And they don't know the absolute best thing for you. They can give you great ideas, but they don't have, 20, 30, 40 years of your experience. And so when I started to re-own some of that energy, some of that leadership, and actually give myself permission that I know what to do, that I can take the next steps on my own, I really started to notice two things. Number one, it felt like the limits that I had set for what could be done in a week, for what could change in a week, just blew off completely. And I was just able to get in such flow where I just wanted to work on things, right? Not to hustle, to grind because I need to work. I just had a real inspiration, real motivation to just work on this thing again and again and again. And for me, it was this idea of light work systems, both internally and for clients. And I was just religiously working on it all day, and I was loving it every single moment. It was so fun because I'd removed that limit, but I have to wait for someone to give me the green light. And I would just move forward with whatever my best judgment was. And I made mistakes, but then I corrected. And I learned so much from that. And what was so beautiful is I felt like, I can play the game on my own now. I can go as far as I want to. Each day can be so full, instead of feeling like there was a limit stopping me from breaking to the next step tomorrow or even tonight, right? I was waiting for someone to break it for me. Now, the second thing that I noticed is I would get these really amazing, unique ideas on how I want to do it for myself, right? I know what I like. I know how I learn best. I know how I like to work on things. And when I was trying to borrow it from a mentor who's amazing but different to me, it felt like a chore. I'm doing it their way. There's nothing wrong with their way, but it just wasn't for me. It wasn't getting me excited. I feel like I was still working, still grinding through. And that's fine too. But when I started to give myself leadership and permission, I was like, this is how I want to do it. And it worked so much better. It allowed me to not only have incredible motivation, but it allowed me to learn real effectively where I was getting actual understanding, right? And that's so much different between learning and understanding. If you just have learning, someone's taught you something, you can recite it, you haven't really made a difference. But if you have understanding, that's when it's clicking. That's when you know really what the next thing that needs to happen is. And that was happening for me. I was getting all this understanding. But all of this started from re-owning, right? And this is, in shadow work, we call it projection work. Actually a golden projection. Where I've put someone out there on a pedestal. They're above me. They know more than me. They're better than me. And truth is, people have more expertise than me. And people will have more expertise than you. But we don't need to give all the authority and power, right, away. Doesn't mean we don't listen to them. It's not like we shut them out. We just notice we also have leadership. We also have authority. We also have certainty in our direction. And when we are able to re-own what we call this golden projection, we get to have a lot of those qualities for ourselves because they were already ours. And it often feels like a real filling up internally, right? Some people even describe like a filling up of gold. But it's not always that way. It's normally just a filling up. And when that happens, you tend to just operate very differently. Because now the internal system, internal ecosystem, has got all of these new qualities, this leadership, this authority, this certainty. I'm not trying to be more of a leader. I'm not trying to be more certain. I'm not trying to make more decisions. But they just happen more organically because I've re-owned that in myself. It's now just part of the system and what emerges. And so I noticed that instead of deferring on a Wednesday for my meeting on Friday, I would just do it. And I would just go for it. Without thinking, I should do it, I should go for it. This wasn't a conscious thing, right? And this is why it's so powerful. We absorb it. We really re-own the golden projection to the point where it just happens organically. Instead of us having to think about it, us trying to be more of a leader, us trying to be more certain, us trying to make more decisions, but we're fighting ourselves. There's no point in that. We may as well change the system so that we can do it really organically and really easily. And I had a client who had a similar experience as well. And for him, when he re-owned it, right, he was seeing somebody as a better leader, a better guide, a better team leader. And when he re-owned that, he was getting, all these amazing ideas. Actually, I don't want to run my team meetings like this. I'm going to do it like this. And he spent like 5 to 10 hours just creating this wonderful, almost art that part of me showed his sales process. And he was telling me the next week that thing that came out so organically and was really fun to do really helped a lot of the guys in the team actually click, right? Actually generate understanding. Because for them, the old methodology that he'd been doing, that he'd kind of borrowed, right? Really expertise, like from really good mentors, but he had borrowed it. It was going over their heads a little bit, some of them. And so this one really clicked with them. And because of that, they seemed to be generating more sales, which is obviously the goal. But that only happened when the leadership was internal, when he had the authority and certainty to move in his own direction, to say, you know what, I want to play with this. This is a fun idea. I'm going to spend time on it. I'm going to build it. I'm going to grow it. And I'm going to trust that it's going to work. And that's the biggest difference. It's not about out here going, I'm going to be more certain, I'm going to be more of a leader, because then we're just fighting ourselves. We're trying to add on a new system. But when we remove the old thing and we just allow the actual energy of that, the energy that we might have projected, just to come back, maybe any beliefs or ideas that we're not a leader, just to leave. When we do that, we just open to a whole new world. Well, that's our normal. And that's the goal. That's what we're here for. And so I want to make an invitation. And that's if this did resonate, and you feel called to explore some of this work, to maybe take that next step, to actually do this for real, then I would love to invite you to just go down into the top comment or down into the description, and you'll see a link. And there's a little bit of space right now where we can have a call to talk about the next steps. If it resonates with you, amazing. If not, that's okay. I would love for you to subscribe, to keep watching if this is for you. And I'm excited to connect in the future.